This is a presentation on effective pedagogical practice for teaching the whole child. As teachers, we are in a better position to engage in effective pedagogical practice if we have an understanding of all the elements that contribute to teaching the whole child. Wikipedia defines pedagogy as the science and art of education. It is how the teaching and learning occurs. An effective teacher will use a variety of teaching approaches because they identify that one approach won't suit every situation. Some are best suited to certain areas, backgrounds, abilities, and styles. An effective teacher is able to identify which approach is best to use for certain key learning areas. Effective pedagogical practice considers the well-being of students, effective teaching practices for good academic outcomes, school environment, and classroom resources. The well-being of students and the use of pastoral care means as teachers we must provide inclusive, safe, and supportive learning environments. It is important to develop and maintain an ethos of care within the classroom and school community because this can have a direct link on positive or negative learning outcomes. Teachers can do this by providing a caring and safe environment for all students, ensuring their whole development is encouraged, get to know your students and take an active part in understanding them and what they're interested in, develop quality and supportive relationships built on trust and respect, and provide opportunities for students to build on their strengths, use their preferred learning styles, and work together in a group. Effective teaching practices for good academic outcomes. Given there is a large amount of research on how each child learns differently and at different stages, we need to consider how as teachers we can cater for all these differences. Theorists such as Thorndike, Pavlov, and Watson viewed learning as a change in behaviour through the use of stimuli in the external environment that produces a desired behavioural change. Then there were theorists such as Lewin, Kohler, and Piaget, who saw learning as internal mental process including insight, information processing, memory, and perception that means the individual develops capacity and skills to learn better. Piaget, Vygotsky, and others interpreted learning as an interaction between individuals' experiences and ideas. People construct their own understanding and knowledge of the world through experiencing things and reflecting on those experiences. And then there were theorists such as Bandura, Lab, and Wagner, whose view of the learning process was that via interaction and observation in social context, the learner needed to have full participation in collaborative, informal groups to share in their own learning and understanding. By having a good understanding of the learning theories, you should then be able to draw on them when creating different experiences and environments and be able to consider such things like the appropriate choice of teaching and learning strategies that focus on individual needs and responds directly to students' learning preference, styles, and interests. Make connections through all aspects of students' learning, what will best engage them and keep them engaged, flexibility and adaptability, and the student's prior knowledge. School environment. If students are within an environment where they feel safe, valued, and accepted, they are more likely to achieve. As a teacher, you are responsible individually as well as collaboratively to create positive relationships between students, staff, and parents that ensure a safe, warm, and caring environment at the school. As a teacher, you need to ensure you have created a setting that is engaging and organised to ensure you'll be able to capture your students' interest and attention. Think about how the desks will be arranged and the feel of the classroom setting as a whole. It is also important to be able to identify and select which classroom resource or resources will be the most effective and enhance the students' learning. Effective use of resources will help students to consolidate what they've learned, extend and construct their knowledge, and develop learning strategies and skills. When selecting resources, the following principles should be considered. The student's prior knowledge, the learning outcomes, they should engage students actively in learning, they should consider students' differences in knowledge by offering a variety of learning activities at different levels of difficulty, they should facilitate classroom discussion and inquiry, their limitations and the environment for use. Understanding students as a whole and the many components that affect how they learn means a teacher will have the ability to identify and implement the best pedagogy practice for successful learning outcomes. Teaching is forever evolving. Reflect on your teaching and be proactive in your development to help you create a strong foundation for a classroom of effective pedagogy practice.
created using Powtoon.